So I, like many other people, first heard about Duet and what the game is about after their last live stream for the game. And I learned two things about the game. First, it's a gacha game, and second, it's not a gacha game. So yeah, basically the first thing that I learned about the game is it was supposed to be a gacha game, and then they decided to change it into a normal game or just make the gacha for the skins. And the first thing that came to my mind was, why the hell would you do that? Now don't get me wrong, I love it as a player what they decided to do with Duet You can get every character for free, you can get every weapon for free, there's no FOMO, you don't have to log in every day for the stamina and all of that. But my question was, why would a company do this? I mean, think about it. Gacha games are known to make a stupid amount of money. I mean, look at these charts. And yeah, I know these charts are estimations and they're not really the real numbers, but still, the numbers are huge, alright? So why would a company do this? And is it actually a good idea to make an anime live service game without gacha in it? Well, that is what we're going to talk about today, and also try to figure out, is this the beginning of the end for gacha games in general? So without further ado, let's get into the video. So it's been more than a week that Duet has been released, and I've been having a ton of fun playing the game. The characters are really cool, the game feels amazing, the movement, and the fact that I can just grind the game non-stop feels amazing. I know it's not for everyone, but I've just been loving it. But the number one criticism that I see about the game is this: the game has no identity. And it's kind of apparent. If you have played gacha games before, especially like Hoyoverse titles or Wuthering Waves, you feel the gacha aspects of the game. Like for example, how the exploration works, how the story looks like, at least in the chapter 1 of the game, the end games, and so on and so forth. And since they decided to remove the gacha aspect of the game midway through development, the game is not as polished as a normal game should be. And because of that, people have been saying the game has no identity because you don't know if it's a gacha game, if it's not a gacha game, what it's supposed to be, and so on. And I think that is the best thing I ever heard about the game. Let me tell you why. Because the game has no identity, that means it can do whatever it wants to do, and it can listen to the feedback of the players and make something that the players actually want to play. So they can just see the feedback from the community and actually understand what the players want instead of just making a game, giving it an identity that players don't like. I mean, imagine if this game was an actual gacha game. What would the game look like, alright? And how would you even recommend the game to other people? When the game was in beta, it looked like a Warframe game, from how there are so many enemies, from the movement and everything. So the game wants to capture the audience and the players of Warframe. So imagine trying to explain the game to a Warframe player. So yeah, this is an anime Warframe game where instead of farming for the characters, you have to pull for them in a gacha. And yeah, there is this 50-50 system where if you lose it, you're gonna get the worst characters in the entire game. And also, instead of farming every day and playing the game a lot, instead you have to log in every day for 10 minutes, do your dailies and log out, because well, you can't do anything if you don't have enough stamina, and everything is locked behind the stamina. And also, instead of farming for good gear, you have to farm for relics and demon wedges with randomized stats and hope to god that you get the stats that you want to get. Oh, and there's no way to guarantee the stats that you're getting, so you can basically waste an entire day of farming for these gears and get absolutely nothing. Or maybe worse, you just wasted a lot of materials trying to upgrade those gears and you got no good substats. So yeah, you see, if the game was a gacha game, instead of having no identity, it would have had a bad one, let's be honest. Like, I would rather the game to have no identity at all, and later on they can polish the game and make it better, instead of having a bad structure and try to fix it and then make it good, alright? And when I thought about it this way, it suddenly clicked. I realized why the company decided to remove the gacha aspect. At least I have a theory. I don't know if it's really the actual reason, but hear me out. If they decided to make the game into gacha, the gacha part of the game would have held it back. And here's what I mean. After Hoyoverse's success with Genshin Impact, they basically created a blueprint for gacha games to follow. And most gacha games after Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail followed the same pattern, from the 50-50 banners, to how the stamina system works, to gearing your characters, and all of that. Before Hoyoverse, this wasn't the normal case for gacha games. It was either really good or it was either really bad. But with the success of Hoyoverse and this blueprint that they created, most gacha games decided to just follow that pattern, because it meant that they were taking less risks, while also the players were more familiar with this style compared to another style that would have had more risks to it. Now, some games did improve on these systems. For example, Wuthering Waves made the weapon banner 100%, so that meant you were guaranteed to get the weapon that you wanted to whenever you get a 5-star on the banner. And some companies just decided to take advantage of this system and just make it more predatory. I'm looking at you, buddy. So for Duet if they wanted to make it a gacha, they had to either follow the Hoyoverse pattern and just make another gacha game that follows the same pattern of Hoyoverse, or they had to take a risk and try to go for a new pattern. And as I said said before, that would have had its own risks. So instead they decided to go the other way and follow the blueprint of not Hoyoverse games, but instead Warframe. I mean, every time I see a comment from a Warframe player, they'll say the same thing. This is just a copy from Warframe. Oh, Lynn is just a mess off from Warframe. Oh, this character is that character. Oh, this is the same mechanic from Warframe. And it works because, well, Warframe is a successful game, and Hero Games could just take a lot of things from Warframe and the years of development that they put into the game and the polish that they had into their own game. Now, would Duet Not the Best make more money if they decided to go gacha? Absolutely, let's be honest. As I said before, gacha games are known for making a stupid amount of money, and the game would have made a lot more if it was a gacha game. But the thing is, if they made it a gacha game, short term they would have been fine, but I don't think they were looking for the short term success of the game. They're trying to make this game into a long term success with future updates. So even if they made a lot more money right now, in the future the gacha aspects would have held it back and they would have lost a lot more players than they wanted. And also, as I said before, if this game was a gacha game, Warframe players just wouldn't be that interested in the game, to be honest. So by removing the gacha aspect of the game, they expanded the audience from just gacha game enjoyers to also Warframe players. And also with the game having no identity, as I said before, it means they can see what the players actually want and implement it. Now I'm saying this because I think they're going to listen to the community. They could just not listen to the community and just do whatever they want to do. But from what I'm seeing from Hero Games, from how they're treating the game and how much fixes they added, I feel like they're gonna listen to the community. But you never know with these companies, alright? Now the last thing that I wanted to talk about was the future of gacha games. When Duet Not the Best announced that they're removing gacha, and also a bigger game, which is Ananta, also announced that they're removing gacha and it's just going to be a normal game, a lot of people had the same idea that gacha is dying. Now, is that true? Nah. I mean, this is the third time that I'm saying, but gacha games make a lot of money, alright? And if there's money involved, you can be sure that the companies are gonna try to get into it. So I wouldn't get too hopeful about every gacha game in the future trying to remove gacha from it, especially like smaller games, where if there is no gacha in it, they probably will lose a lot of money and they won't be able to update the game in the future. But with DNA and Ananta both removing gacha from the games, it means that in the future, the companies that are trying to make big gacha games are gonna be more motivated to remove the gacha from the game. I mean, people are right now calling Ananta the anime GTA. And well, if the game releases before GTA 6, which it will happen, I mean, GTA 6 got delayed again, so yeah, probably Ananta will release before GTA 6, which is wild. But anyway, you know how much audience they're gonna have by just having this free advertisement, which is anime GTA, alright? Now imagine for other big games, which what we have right now, anime Warframe. There are a ton of games that if they're just in the anime version, they would attract a lot of audience. But all of this depends on the success of Duet Not the Best and Ananta. If these two games don't perform that well, companies are just gonna roll back to the gacha system where it's a lot safer. So hopefully Duet Not the Best will succeed and can show to other games that it is possible to make a good game and make it a successful game without needing to add gacha into it. And as I said before, it's not just Duet Not the Best, it's also Ananta as well. I don't know if there are other gacha games that decided to remove gacha from it, but hopefully there are going to be more of this. But anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching the video till now. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back for another video. Bye bye.